Charlie, wow. Thank you for coming. Huh?
Welcome, bro.
All right. Okay. So, my guy, tell me a little bit about yourself.
So my name is Ivan Idumwa. Bro, I've done a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Currently, I would say my main focus is real estate. But most people relate to me a little bit from YOLO, a little bit from the screens.
Yeah.
Jack of all trades.
You say most people know you as a creative, huh? Because
most people know me as a creative,
yeah.
and I like the fact that most people know me as a creative because, and that's why I'm even very happy to be here because this is mainly an art-related podcast, I believe, and I like the fact that people are opening up what art really is because art is everything around us, right? So I carry my creativity with me in every space I go. So whether it was behind the camera on the screen, acting, or right now more of directing and leading marketing strategy for a real estate developer, as well as my companies as well.
Yeah,
I involve art in everything.
That's good.
So that's I think
it, right?
I think that's without saying anything, because I did notice something. Someone mentioned something about how can you introduce yourself without specifically saying what you do.
Yeah,
that's a tough one.
Yeah, right? I know, right?
Yeah, so this is basically me without really delving exactly into exactly what I'm doing right now.
That's fair. Yeah. So as we were saying, we're going to delve into real estate, right?
Okay.
So can you tell, like, for a lame Ghanaian, what's real estate?
Now this is a tricky question. The reason I'll say this is a tricky question is because let's say 10 years ago, everybody wants to own a home. I think from everyone's childhood dream is to build their own house and live in with their family. So for a large majority of people, real estate, the idea of real estate is the home your family lives in. For a certain tier of people as well too, real estate is a money-making machine. When you die, you leave an estate, right? And you leave something for your kids to inherit and for your generations after you. And real estate is the only thing that is real, right? In that,
fair enough,
money can change. I mean, if we go crypto, the coins you hold and the sheets you hold are going. Everything can change. But the one thing, the one thing that is actually real, solid, and you can always count on is real estate. So for a certain tier of people, real estate is a money-making machine, is a way to generate wealth and a way to go for generational wealth as well. For certain people, real estate is community outreach. So I know of people who have reached self-actualization and they want to help people, the younger people, also live comfortably. So they build amazing apartments, rent it out for very, very cheap. So it's also a way to give out to the community. So real estate is a lot of things.
You'd say it's on a spectrum in terms of
on a spectrum.
If you want to make money, you just want a house, you know, to live in, or you want something to bequeath to your future generations and all that. Okay, that's fair. Also, as you said, to build a community in that sense, you know, build an affordable housing for like young people coming up.
Yeah.
Right. So in this real estate, as you said, is broad.
Yeah.
Where do you lie in this? Where do you come in?
So currently, I'm more on the luxury end. I'm more on the luxury end. And with my company, the company that I work with, Daimler Homes, we are sort of starting with, we are a luxury brand.
Yeah.
But we're also trying to trickle down to also make home ownership something that's accessible to everyone.
Okay.
So currently, I would say I'm on the luxury end because even on my personal businesses, I manage luxury properties. And on the career front too as well, I'm selling more luxury homes, right? It's more luxury trickling down. So I would say I'm on the luxury spectrum.
And with the luxury part, are you more of the, per your explanation, are you more on the money-making side or the inheritance-making side in that sense?
Both.
That makes sense.
BOAF, both. Shannon says that a lot. Because I believe a real luxury property should give you the luxury of doing both, right? It should be accommodating enough for you to want to live with your family if you choose to. And it should also be feasible enough market-wise for you to be able to rent it out and make money off of it for your kids. It should also be something that you can also easily leave with pride to your future generations as well. So the whole idea of luxury is the idea of choice. Yeah. Right. So with the idea of choice, a luxury property should easily afford you both options. Yeah. With equal measure.
That's good. How does it? Because luxury is not easy. It's not easy sell, right?
No.
You know, you have to convince people to take out money to buy something, right?
Yeah.
How does it go for you? What are the ups and downs in your industry or you personally in your career?
Luxury, like you say, it's not an easy sell. With luxury and with anything that is money heavy,
exactly,
it takes a lot of discernment to be able to make the right choice, because on any spectrum, real estate is one of the biggest purchases you're ever going to make in your life. Yeah. On any spectrum, if you're going to own just a home, or if you're somebody who even has an abundance of funds, let's just say of funds. I wanted to find a more diplomatic way to say it, but if you are somebody that even has an abundance of funds, right? Still, one of the biggest purchases you're ever going to be making is property.
Of course, yeah.
So it comes with a lot of discernment. It comes with a lot of transparency, and these are things that also, again, I'll keep on plugging it into my career with Daimler Homes, that we try to establish transparency, clarity, and delivering as you say you would. Okay, so with those things, it sort of gives you a certain space to work with. It gives you a certain advantage. And then the last thing is to make sure that everything that you say, you do it to the T. Making sure that you actually, in the end of all your promises, in the end of all your deliverables that you offer, you are able to produce very good quality products, right? So it's not easy. It's not easy, that's for sure. I think people see real estate as like an easy way out.
Mine is, as I said, like if it's a luxury good or something like this, it's not the easiest thing to sell.
It's not the easiest thing to sell.
Convincing me to take money out.
Yes.
You know, to buy something, I have to be. That means you have to gain their trust. You have to make sure everything you said you're going to deliver, you deliver. Even for them to even pay an installment, it's a whole deal in that sense, right? So if you're able to sell something, then you must be really good at that. You get me? Like you have to get to a point where people trust you now. I trust you enough to give you money to buy me something, not the fact that even if it's for like buying it in terms of, let's say, in the next few years it's going to appreciate in value and all that. I need to trust your calculations, your predictions to be able to buy this thing. If you buy in the next few years, it's going to be that. And it's not easy.
It's not easy. It's not easy. So I mean, it's two things. It's once you have trust in the product. That you are churning out, that's almost automatically makes you a good salesman, right? Because I don't know how many. I mean, you're amazing at what you do, but if you produce a piece of art and you personally don't feel good about that piece of art, it's hard for you to sell that piece of art, right? Yeah. But when you know that this piece of art is something that came from deep within, it's something that you executed 100% well, automatically, even speaking about it, you speak about it with more confidence and more. And more conviction, right?
True.
And conviction sells. Of course. So the more you're convinced about how good your product is, you're able to relay that to the person, and the person can purchase into the idea.
True. You know, do you speak Tree?
A little bit. I speak better Ghana than Tree.
Okay, good. Do you know the saying "Adepane Tono"? Have you heard?
Yes, Adepane Tono. Exactly.
Sense, right?
Exactly.
So that's exactly what.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's summarized. That's a perfect summary. That's exactly
what have been your lows in this?
I think
promises, People, I'll buy.
Yeah.
Call.
So being a broker, being a salesperson, of course, selling comes with a lot of excitement. If you're passionate about selling comes with a lot of excitement, right? So once you know you've done an amazing job, showing the person also, even by the way they received the information you gave them, they really, really enjoyed it. They were convinced, and then now it gets to that part where the money has to
let's
speak.
Do the transaction.
Let's get transactional, and then there's a lot of oohs and ahs and I don't know if I'm ready for this now, and like.
You have to convince them. That's where your patience counts.
That's where you have to be patient. I mean, it's part of the part of the job being patient. And yeah, we would give all the patience. But if with the patience, if the person also really doesn't come through, then that's a low. But you have to really go get them, because there's a lot of turnover. Definitely, there's a lot of turnover. Yeah. So with that, it just takes a certain character to be able to stay motivated and stay selling.
True. Is it because they have this thing where they say it's always a numbers game. Mm-hmm. So let's say if you're going for, like, if you're selling something and I want one customer, I should be able to move to 10 or 15 people to get one. Yeah. Is it the same in terms of your type of thing?
Yeah. So there's a ratio. There's a ratio that I sort of use to motivate myself. So it's usually 100 calls. No, sorry, it's tens and ones, right? So 10 calls usually would give you one lead, and usually about 10 leads would probably give you a qualified one, and maybe out of like the 10 qualified ones, you might have a sale.
Oh, so you break it down all the way.
Yeah. As to how the ratios work, it sometimes depends. Like, I mean, there's a whole large variability with. Sometimes you'd have a higher ratio of leads to close sales, but knowing that you don't give yourself too much expectation, and then it also helps you with the disappointment, the disappointment level too as well.
That's good. Let's talk about real estate in general. In terms of, I'm sure you're familiar with the growth of real estate in the country, right? In terms of now we have a lot of buildings coming up, high-rise buildings here and there. We have a lot of, as you said, luxury buildings coming up, affordable buildings now. We have a whole lot of apartment builds. Yeah. What do you think? What's your take on that in terms of value proposition, in terms of locations, in terms of whether they are being sold to the right people and all that? What do you think in general about the Ghanaian real estate? Is it going on a certain upward trajectory? Is it stagnant? Is it going down? What you, by your knowledge, what's
so I think there's a lot of people who are they call it a bubble burst, right? There's a lot of people who are waiting for the Ghanaian bubble to burst. For me, it's exciting in the sense that when I think about what the Ghanaian skyline is going to look like in the next 5-10 years, because most developments take within 2 to 4 years to complete, right? So I feel like, and this is my personal, I feel like we are sort of like the second generation right now of development.
True.
And especially this came from the boom of the year of return, and now people flowing into the country and wanting to purchase property back home, etc. So that was the turning point, I believe. One of the major turning points in real estate in Ghana, and the focus on luxury real estate. And so from 2019, most of the developers that reacted quickly to this boom have completed their projects. And we are seeing that. And now the second generation of people are completing their projects now. So you see some projects like the Lennox, you see some projects. That's those are more refined off of. If I was to use, I don't want to mention another brand's name. If I was to use some brands, they started from one, they've learned a lot from that, and then they've gone into their second development, and then so it's a more refined one. And now we are heading into the third generation of developments, where now we are seeing now a lot more innovation, a lot more technology imbued with it. So now you're seeing more smart homes, smart offerings. We are seeing more environmentally friendly propositions into real estate. So right now we are in a space where there's a lot more innovation in making properties in Ghana globally acceptable, and achieving a global luxury standard.
Exactly. And also achieving a certain level of global value as well. Because like if you can go to New York and what do you call it? You can buy apartment or real estate house for millions of dollars, or it depends from 100,000 to millions of dollars in that sense, right? And it's all about the value in that sense, right? I think we're also building something like that here. But the question here,
I know the question coming.
Is it justified? You get what I mean? Like,
is it justified?
I mean, it's New York.
Yes,
you have to understand. It's New York, and it's London. It's Paris. It's all these places. Right? Is Accra justified? The amount of money people are charging, is it justified?
There's two sides to the coin.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, you'd go to New York or downtown New York, and you'd easily see a studio or a penthouse going for $1 million, $2 million.
Yeah.
There's even some for 10, 20,
exactly.
depending on the kind of luxury offerings that they give. And if we are to compare, this might be a controversial take. Yeah. This might be a controversial take, but if we are to compare, what is New York to Ghana?
True.
So what is New York to Ghana? You're going to talk probably about cantonments, right? You're going to probably talk about maybe airports. Right? And in New York, you can have a penthouse for 10 million. You can have a penthouse in millions.
Yeah.
And in cantonments, you can have a penthouse for 200,000.
Yeah.
You can have a penthouse for 300,000. Maybe a luxury offering might offer you an amazing penthouse for maybe 350. Right? But now the question is comparatively, we understand that there will be offerings in New York that we cannot offer here in Ghana. I mean, the views alone, you have a skyscraper there, you have not seen skyscrapers here, etc., etc.
Yet.
But now, what are the offerings? And is it really a feasible buy? Now, that becomes a good question. That becomes a very good question.
Feasibility is very important, huh?
Because you see a property and then all the offers you find, backup power, which should be a staple. Offer you a fairly regular size.
Why do we use the word state of the art? It's ultra modern state of the art.
Well, you see, on these things, a lot of these things are relative, right? State of the art to us is relative to what state of the art could be to somebody else.
Yeah.
But again, we are still trying to achieve a global standard. Yeah. So, state of the art to me is also very questionable. Right. Yeah, so if you're going to say you want to offer in the most prime of locations in Ghana, a very beautiful luxury unit, and you're going to ask for $1 million. Okay, you said you want $1 million. What is it coming with?
Exactly.
Right. Is it coming with the basic pool, gym, gen?
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like,
or
is it exclusive?
Is something that's exclusive and it has exclusive amenities like a spa? It has exclusive access to these things, because a lot of times these people do not just buy the property; they buy the community that the property comes with.
Yeah, exactly.
So, are a lot of our units worth it? That is debatable, honestly. Yeah. I can debate for it and I can debate against it.
That's the thing.
Right.
It can fall on both spectrums.
Yes, it can fall on both spectrums.
Yeah.
And it really is a tough pickle, even for me sometimes when I run my mind around it. But I think, and this is me just tracking back to what we're expecting to be, or what a lot of people are speculating to be a bubble burst. I think that there would rather be a little bit of a correction. Because if you look at the Ghanaian skyline right now, there are a lot of developments coming up.
Oh yeah.
Of luxury tier.
Oh yeah.
Of our luxury tier, right? There are a lot of developments coming up. And if there's an abundance of supply, I mean, we are all expecting a certain price for a certain development, blah, blah, by what is now, which is also debatable, but I don't want to get into that just yet. But when there's a large supply and then there's a lower demand, obviously basic economics will let you know that there will be a correction of price.
There will.
So these are things that I am expecting, I'm seeing. I see that now. People are building, and the people who would purchase, because now we are looking at quite a different, because there are people who want to come back home.
Yeah.
They want to move out. You see a lot of these celebrities wanting to come back to Ghana, wanting to purchase a property here. There are also people in Ghana who have also made it and also purchasing property. And there's also, and I think there are lots more millionaires that are going to be made, because we have a very large space of industrialization that we haven't achieved yet.
Yeah. Ghana is still a growing country.
Ghana is still a growing country. We are not manufacturing as much as we should. So there's still a gap, right? And that gap would give opportunity to people who in turn can also purchase real estate, right? But until then, the demand spectrum is quite a limited demand spectrum. So now there will be a correction where now developers are going to now have to sit and ask themselves, after they've developed their property, how it was easy to sell out the property, and now what should be the next move. And now this becomes more of a data-driven line of thought. Okay, now a lot of these developers, we raise properties, how did sales go, what's the data that backs it? Now using this data, what should be the next move to keep ourselves moving forward and to keep the whole real estate team, the real estate industry growing still at a rapid rate, right? So I think there will be a correction, and I think that correction will come at a time where there'll be more information available to all developers, and how developments went and which are even still standing unsold, and then better decisions will be made for the growth of the industry.
You made mention about the fact that we are still a growing country, so we get to a point where the purchasing power is going to go up and everything. If you go to India, right, recently went there, right, and you can tell the amount of development that's happening in terms of real estate. The skyline is filled, like, and these are new money people, because India is now a new, let's say, new power in terms of the global economics and everything. Right? And you look at how it's now transitioned into the developments into the country. You see buildings everywhere. You go to a place, you see skyscrapers, 70 floors and all that place. You can tell like something is really good. You enter the country, like something is changing. Like, it's really, and it's good to see that things are happening. So, and that from that point of view, I have hope that something like that might happen, or maybe will happen in the country. You know, in that sense, right? But my question is, you know, there are different ways of pricing, let's say, anything. In that sense, anything luxury, there are ways of pricing it, right? You take in consideration the location, you take in consideration the amount of money you use, the materials you bought and everything, right? What else do you take into consideration apart from that? Is the value intrinsic?
I think one wrong way that has been quite prevalent, which is quite unfortunate, is I'm building something. The person who builds something similar in this area price it as this.
Exactly.
And I'm pricing along the same line.
It's the records that show that, you know, because if you go to other places, you can look at a whole record that shows, okay, this area, this amount, you can check and know that the value is worth it or not. I want to understand why I'm buying it for this amount. To know that I can project that from this type of trajectory, looking at how these prices are going. If I buy this type of real estate, it's a good investment or not. You know. And sometimes you rarely get that type of information in this country.
I mean, there's the information is there. I just think it's just not usually advertised, just usually readily available.
It's not necessarily in the public domain unless you
consciously go into it, and then you can be explained to it by people in the industry. Because, for example, in East Legon, there are rates per square meter, right? There's a range of rates per square meter. So in East Legon, per square meter, you're looking at about 1,200 per square meter, right? In airports, it's higher. So these are things that developers use in calculating how they price their units, right? So if I have a 50 square meter unit and East Legon is, let's say, I think it's about 1,500, right? So about 1,500 per square meter, then now you multiply that and use that to give your offering. And this also comes hand in hand with what your development is also going to offer as well. If you are going to offer pools, if you're going to offer this and this, all these things come to add value to the base, right? So these things should come into play. And these are reasons why I'm saying the change would come when there's more data.
Yeah.
Right. So why did this person sell and this person didn't?
Yeah.
Is this person offering more value per square meter as well as better amenities than the other person?
Okay.
So these are things that would make people make more informed decision on even the kind of developments to put up in the locations. Right. So every location, every prime location in Ghana does have an understood square meter to pricing ratio.
True.
And that influences the pricing. But then again, too, I still feel like it's still the value offering.
Of course.
Right. So in as much as I can have a very large unit, I should also be able to have top of the line tiles, top of the line finishing, my painting, my lighting should be amazing. There should be some creativity in all of these things. And these things should come to influence the price. Not just how big the unit is.
Even like, I think we've had this conversation before in terms of even the value added. It can be what exactly it's inside the building. You know, we were talking about artworks being included in the value of the building, right? You can have a Van Gogh in your house. It just boosts the value up. Or it can even be the architect that built the house. You know, a world-renowned architect built this house. And it also boosts the value. Do we have, like, I know is this something that is foreign in this country or something that is common in that sense in terms of name valuation? The name makes it go up. Like instantly you had any association with that brand, you know, it just boosts up in that sense.
Yes. So these are things that come with the transparency and the quality offerings. So once you are able to build your brand off of works that you have done that have been of high quality, obviously it transcends into your next project, and then people are beginning to understand that you as a brand provide this tier of finishing and of quality. I think we are heading into the place where now the kind of architect that built it also now comes to add value to the developer that built it. And now when the developer finishes, what extra perks he adds to his handing over his handing over bouquet, that makes it even more valuable because you want to sort of keep your tribe, right? So how do you keep giving and giving and giving more and more value to the people, the person who trusted your brand, especially people who buy off plan, because they have not seen what the project is going to be like, but they are trusting your brand to bring them something. And with that trust, we also have to sort of give something back, right?
I see.
We are heading into I think we are heading, and I think we'll see this from the third generation, or maybe even from this generation, which I'm trying to do, but I'm not letting my secrets out. Where we are going to try to incorporate art, we're trying to incorporate a lot more things into the property that makes the property automatically appreciate once you get it, it's automatically appreciated.
That's good. That will also be rare in terms of like it's going to be exclusive in that sense, right? What can we create? Prime valuation locations. Is there? Because we already have all these, like we know the prime valuation locations. Talk about cantonments, airports, all these, East Legon and all that. Is there an intentional thing where, let's say, developers come around and just create a whole thing and just raise the value of a place? Is there something that is done?
No. So currently,
sorry for cutting.
No,
like what are the determinants of let's say land valuation in that sense? Like why is it more expensive than the others? Is it because it's close to amenities? Is it because of the notoriety in terms of the name, or what makes it? Why is it more expensive in Cantonment than it is expensive in less expensive in Labadi? Why are more real estate or developers concentrating on these certain parts of the country, or even Accra, rather than in that sense, right? What's the difference in that sense?
A few factors. The difference is, well, I mean, the very basic one is, I mean, land is finite. Right. There's only so much that can be done in a certain space. and demand for these particular lands are increasing. So then, therefore, automatically, basic economics will say
exactly,
yes, the price would shoot up.
Yeah.
Now, this is just literally the most basic of things.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, on the other front, we are talking about things that are sort of reactions to what living in Accra is like. So in cantonments, you'd find a lot of the embassies.
Yeah.
Same with airports, you find a lot of the embassies. And although it's quite interesting, and I always say that this thing about Ghanaian real estate is quite interesting because being close to the airports is usually being associated with noise. Right?
Yeah. I know, right? You know, in certain places, they don't
want to be close to the airport.
They don't want to be close to the airport. You travel, it's not something that...
Yeah, and then the places in the hills are usually the more premium, prime priced things. But here in Ghana, it's a little bit of the opposite, which is quite an interesting thing.
I'm not thinking about it. Yeah, it's true.
Which is quite an interesting thing. But back to the reaction things, most of the businesses, most of the companies are all concentrated in certain areas.
Yeah.
And it is quite important, especially because we do not have very advanced transportation systems so that it will be easy for you to move from, say, Koforidia, which should have been like prime because of the hills and stuff, because the weather is lovely over there. Bro. The views are amazing. I cannot live in Koforidia and get to work in Accra Central in 30 minutes or in 40 minutes because
there's a railway system that
exactly,
yeah.
Right. So it becomes very important and it becomes a top priority to be in close proximity to where you work. And that also begins to tier what development would look like in the area. Because now if most of the embassies and things are going to be in airports and cantonments, slowly demand would really shoot for those places.
Yeah.
Slowly, it also means that certain kinds of developments and certain kinds of buildings are going to go up over there. And slowly it begins to price out the regular person into what we would say are the
market
suburbs.
Just determines it.
Yes. So it begins to determine. And these are reasons that come up because of our infrastructural strength.
True.
Right.
True.
So slowly then you see that now somebody who could be living in cantonments 15, 20 years ago now has to, try and move to Adenta or East Legon Hills or things like that to be able to keep up with. So these things come to play. There are just lots of various factors that come to play. And now with these places being more central, with expats coming in, with certain levels of people living in these areas, now you want a certain quality of build.
Yeah.
Now, that will now link it to how dollarized our economy is, right? Yeah. Because now you have a dollarized economy where if the dollar goes up by 1 cedi, and the sad thing is, but when the dollar goes down, it doesn't affect us, right? When the dollar goes up, everybody's rapidly changing their prices because they claim they want to bring in new stock.
Yeah.
But when the dollar goes down, they're not saying that, my new stock will be cheaper, so I can reduce my price now. They say, no, the stock I have now was bought at a higher rate. So everybody's looking for profit. The greed of a lot of the Ghanaian traders, which is sad, but anyway, that's on the sidebar.
Yeah.
So how our economy reacts to what the dollar is doing tends to affect how your inputs when you are building your development comes in, where you are getting your finishes. I mean, most of the best things are not manufactured here, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The best of paints.
Everything is imported. Most of everything is imported.
Yes. So the best of paints are not from here. The best of tiles are not from here. The best of everything is not from here. But then we also want to have the best of properties here that matches global standards. So that if anybody from the globe is to come in here, they feel straight at home, and it's intuitive for them to be in.
Yeah.
So these are some of the things that come together in different dynamics to sort of raise the prices in these prime locations. Will that change soon?
You never know. You never know.
Will that change soon? You never know. I mean, as it has dictated it to be this way,
right? I think if we have a good price regulation system in the country where everything are done in a certain systemic way, I think it might change, but you never know.
Yes. So I mean, when the dollar went down, I did notice that the government was trying to pressurize the cement, the people to reduce the prices, but they were not.
Oh yeah, they're stubborn.
They were not. Hey. So the government actually does try to, I think on even past government and this government, they always try to impose and try to motivate people to quickly, and I use motivating quotes, motivate people to quickly adjust their prices to what is happening if they are doing good work. And I say if because
if you look at the driver, they told them to reduce it, like
they said no. And you see videos of people fighting in the church all the days because
guys, like my spare parts. Like he just foresaw he didn't say this is supposed, like if I spoil this amount I'm going to spend, so I'm not going to do it.
Yes. Like, okay. So exactly. So that's moderation is very, very important. And because when it quickly reflects on us, especially when the dollar goes down, giving us a little more purchasing power and a little more freedom and a little more creative freedom to be able to do things, that would help. Yeah. So honestly, that's a very good point. I wish that is something that would be implemented.
Yeah. And also, I have an observation, right? Mm-hmm. Like in terms of the type of buildings that are being, brought up or built in this country, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't create communities, right? It just creates this type of let's say apartment/dormitory type of thing where the only conversation I have is when I open my door and I see another neighbor or something. There's no like a common ground outside or like a park or anything where people can come and just have a community thing in that sense, right? And it's not very common to see. To me, it's a problem. Because we are rather isolating people rather than putting them. Isolation is a bad thing. Right? It causes a whole lot of problems in that sense, right? And I hope like more real estate developers would do things where it also incorporates them, let's say environment, people, make sure you are allowing people to see each other and everything. Create a whole park where people can come and sit down, have picnics or just play with their kids. Kids can roam around like a few meters, but you can see them moving around, like create a whole something that would be good in that sense. Because all of them are like this, and that's it. And this maybe if they have anything, it's a pool.
Yes, a pool, the shared facilities.
And those people, not everybody will be in the pool. Sense, right?
Yeah. So this is also another concern that I do have, and I think it's also just generally comes down to how expensive the land tends to be.
True.
In the end, every developer is trying to, of course, make money. Off of bringing people a certain value, right? So when I would love to, have, let's say, an acre of land and develop a project on it that has ample space for people to take walks, a lot of greenery and things. But then again, if I was to try to get an acre of land in airport,
it's not easy.
That's a huge, and that is even on price, much less even availability of that acre of land in airport, because of course, airport is segmented. Like everybody has small pieces. So to even get that acre of land is going to take a lot. And it's a business decision, but it becomes increasingly difficult for people to be able to have that much space to naturally, because people go along certain natural tangents. Biologically, we are wired to respond better to greens and to water. Right? Because I don't want to go back. But if you go all the way back to our evolutionary standards, we have always lived in our natural habitats and lived by water because that is the source of life, right? So we respond to these things very innately, right? But then we usually do not get that much space to be able to raise a development and still be able to incorporate all of these things. And you go to the West, they would have parks in the middle of the city and things, and we do not have.
It's very sad, huh? Like
we don't seem to have that here because even in the concrete jungle, like you'd mentioned New York or any of these ultra urbanized areas,
Dubai and all them places,
they would still have a demarcated plots, a large space where you can go walk your dog, sit, get some fresh air. We do not. I do not see any of that unless if I start a land park.
It used to be a thing, but
it used to be a thing, bro. Bro, I don't know. Yeah. So On the business front, we would wish to. Unfortunately, we are quite limited for that. On the country planning front too, I feel like that's also something that could be taken up on a national level, on the governmental level.
I was even about to say that, because
bring this into community.
It has to be very intentional.
It has to be very intentional.
It has to come from a national front.
Yes, because you go to a place like Adenta Smith Flats. They have spaces in the middle that are demarcated for. I think that's one of the best planned places.
Oh, they did it well. They did.
They have football parks and things, places demarcated, and you know that as a business person, you look at this football park, you know that Charlie can raise 3 flats. Right,
but
then you know that it is there to serve the community. They have the basketball courts, they have the football parks, they have places where you can just sit. It's an amazing. So that planning should have been incorporated into more of our urban areas to sort of like just make no-go areas, areas, and those places can serve the community. But I think we missed that.
Yeah, because we have. Compared to the West, we have very, very good weather. Right? Everybody there inside, bro. Like,
I want to be out. I want to be out.
Just sit somewhere, just relax under a shade in the greenery, fresh air. It's not
some small waterfall somewhere. You can pick a book and read, or just pick your notepad and just try to think of something. Yeah. These things all contribute to a little bit of a creative drain, but it is what it sort of is what it is.
I mean, in my opinion, I think if I'm buying anything like that and there's an availability for that, I'd rather go for that, even if it's a little bit more expensive than the other one, because it gives this type of value, this type of amenities. It's good for you, like as a person. When you come outside, see fresh. You see people underrate them, huh?
Yeah,
you can be in your house the whole day, but you see somebody, it just changes.
It just changes your mood.
But it
just changes the mood. Observing people always brings you a little bit of happiness. You're down, you sit in the park, you see someone playing with their dog or their kid, and it just sort of just raises your mood.
You go outside, it's only restaurants or nightlife.
Restaurants or nightlife.
Restaurant nightlife.
We try to
beach days.
Beach days more, but even the beaches. We have a very long coastline, but how many of them are developed beaches?
Bro.
Right. So all of these things come into play. We would wish to, and I think, and again, I'll just pitch this in a little bit. So we have a development in airport called Casa Viva, which translates into a living home, Casa Viva.
Yeah.
And then these are the new trends where we are trying to incorporate more plants and more greenery into the development itself to sort of still give it that natural feel. And we just wish that we had more to be able to do more. But these are small interventions that we are making to try to sort of bridge the gap between the concrete and the nature. Right. So we are trying. We are trying somehow.
Why do you think we don't have a lot of beach developmental fronts in that sense? That's more realistic. Because as I said, we have a long coastline, from here all the way to like Buzia down there.
Yeah.
Like,
very low.
We don't see proper like development happening, right?
Yeah.
Where like as high-rise buildings and all that.
Yeah.
Comparatively, if you go to Angola, like they have like a beautiful beachfront where you have all these things over there. We've not developed that beachfront. Do you have any? What do you think about that? Do you have any knowledge on that?
A little bit.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of times to these beachfronts, I mean, until you go a little bit on the outskirts. Yeah. Let's say the prime beachfront, because I'll just say prime because I want to sort of limit it to Accra.
Of course, yeah.
The central Accra. I think really have, Laboma Beach, Labadi Beach.
You come to the Sandbox area.
They come to the Sandbox area, which is even quite a recent development.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I think when you go to the Spintex area too, they are doing something interesting with the beaches too as well.
Yeah.
But I think, and I just heard this somewhere, I don't know how verified this is, but then they speak about how difficult it is to even be able to obtain land over there to be able to even develop in the first place. And also these beaches have also become dumping sites for refuse and things, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So clearing that out and rerouting where, because we are human and of course there's going to be waste, right? But rerouting where it's going to go, finding solutions for that to be able to free these spaces also becomes part.
So it's a technical problem.
I think it's more of a technical problem because people do love the beaches, and you see with how rapidly the Sandbox lane did develop, and they are offering quite interesting things over there as well. People are also leaning towards the Kokrobite area, Pram beaches too as well. But just that, again, it becomes very difficult to access these spaces.
Side or you're building exactly.
Yes. It just becomes very difficult to access these spaces easily, again, because of infrastructural limitations. You can't transport yourself to Pram easy. Pram should have been very quick, but it's an almost 2-hour drive.
Car, you to go.
Drive. So you go there to relax, and then the drive coming back, you just reinstalls the stress that you try to escape from. So I think it's more of a technical problem. I think with infrastructure and with better transportation lines, a lot of these beaches would open up to developments, and maybe with better understanding between the actual landowners and then the developers too. It should have a good trajectory, hopefully. And again, I mean, some of these beaches might be hard to really sell luxury in because they're on the flight paths.
Oh yeah,
so, the airplane goes off. So now the Labadi area, the planes always go over and go and turn and come back. So it just means that we have to look into the Kokrobite area and things. So these things all come to play, especially if you are being forward thinking about how the living condition, which we try to be as much as possible in Michael, how the living condition is going to be. You want to avoid the flight paths as much as possible because you've paid top dollar for an apartment and your baby cannot sleep. Or you finally put your baby to bed and an airplane wakes them up and you cannot sleep, right? So all of these things come together some way, somehow with urban planning and how we can actually promote living in these areas and develop things that would solve that problem, right? So it's a lot of things do come to play.
That's good. Let's talk about let's say the financial part of it in terms of investment, right? Let's talk about the younger generation, the demography we are in right now. Why should somebody think about buying a building or buying investing into real estate? Why should I do that? Why should anybody do that in this way? How does it translate in terms of my finances? How does it, make me get more money in a very crude way? How does it make somebody? Because if I invest in something, I know that appreciation and value, or like is because or not in that sense. Is it going to appreciate, or am I going to lose money or gain money in that sense?
Okay. I do not think there has ever been somebody who lost money in real estate.
Depends.
It depends, unless something like an act of God happens, right? But if you invest usually in prime real estate or well-researched locations, you almost always end up on a winning side. That's the thing about real estate, especially because we have urban sprawl. The urban areas are growing. 20, 30 years ago, East Legon Hills, all bush.
I know.
20, 30 years ago, even to some extent, a vast part of Medina and Adenta was very not it, right? So somebody bought land there, a large tract of land there,
and developed it,
and maybe even kept it, just held on to it.
Oh yeah,
right now they are rolling, right? So real estate is something that you can almost never go wrong. Almost never go wrong once you applied a good amount of discernment and thoughts into it. You can almost never go wrong. Why should a young person start looking into it? I heard for the fact that obviously it's always an appreciating asset. As much as we think airport is expensive now, unless something amazing out of the bracket happens, airport will still be more expensive in the next 5 years than it is now. Right. Real estate, again, I also say that it's really not just about the building. It's about what the units or what the property you own can do for you. If you own an investment property, and I'll just trickle this into how a youthful person can get into this. If you have enough money and you own an investment property, this working for you can take care of your kids, it can take care of their schooling. It's doing something aside from the building being there for you.
True.
If your family grows, you can offer something to your kid to live in. If you are tired of using it as an investment property, it's something that it does for you. Is it just a store of value that you can, when it appreciates, you can extract value from using the financial sector to do other things? It's doing something for you. So it's very important for us to get ourselves out of the box of thinking just about, okay, what can this property do for me in terms of rent? But the bigger picture, because once you plug it into your wealth system, you can do so many things with it. You can do so many things for your family. I mean, and this was even a funny take that I even mentioned in some meeting, and everybody laughed at. Listen, if you have a house like here, and then you're married and you even get divorced, you have a place to go to. You have a place to go to, right? So there is just so much value propositions that owning real estate, especially prime-ish real estate, goes to present to you. Even it being just a store of value, just a store of value, because you could have bought maybe a piece of land for maybe 10,000 cedis in East Legon Hills maybe 15 years ago. But now, just holding on to it.
Exactly.
It's a store of value. So in a young person's bid to break out of the system, to break out basically, generationally, and stand out and make better for their generations to come, which I believe every young person wants to do.
Exactly.
It's very important to be able to incorporate a lot of thoughts with how to diversify your portfolio to make sure that your wealth stays your wealth and your wealth continues to appreciate, whether you are working actively on it or not. And real estate is one way that easily appreciates. It always appreciates. And this comes back to the fact that there's only so much land.
Finite.
There's only so much land.
Exactly.
And there's always going to be more people.
More people than land, true.
More people, limited land, basic. Would appreciate.
That's good. So as you're concluding, right? My question to you is, what advice would you give to somebody who wants to, or people who want to get into your field, right? What type of, people underestimate appearance, right? In terms of certain fields, right? What type of appearance should they give off in terms of what they're wearing, in terms of aura, in that sense, your confidence in selling things? What type of strategies should they use, and how basically what should they do in that sense?
I think for one thing that always would differentiate you from the next broker, the next marketer, the next trader, is the amount of information that you have. So for one, you always have to keep reading, keep getting yourself abreast with things. The next, appearance is always top tier. Because people judge you by how you look.
Unfortunately.
As much as sometimes I like to appear like this, very casual, you do also have to understand that it's not about you. If you could buy the property, buy it yourself. But you're selling to people, and so then therefore with the kind of quality that you are hoping to offer them, the kind of value you're hoping to bring them, you also have to come in a certain persona, and that comes in. So, and there, I think, in as much, you always have to appear well, but the context in which you appear also has to be very customized to the person that you are going to deal with. Someone would look at you and then just you, like you're coming to meet me and you came in a suit and tie, you may think that you are being too pretentious, you are trying to overcompensate for something. Some people want to meet you in a little bit more of a comfortable fit, in a little more of a comfortable setting. Like a person would want to meet you at a bar in the evening just to have a few drinks.
So you don't necessarily have to go to the house to even sell. You can
close the deal. You have to show them the offering.
Of course,
but I mean, if it's an off-plan thing, you have to show them what you have done before for them to have an understanding of the quality of your output already. But a lot of times it might not be closed there on the spot. It might be closed in a more comfortable setting. You have to always appear well, but you also have to be able to, by judging the person, by profiling the person, know how to present yourself to give yourself the upper hand. So appearance is extremely important. You also have to appear properly, like you have to curate your appearance.
That's good. Oh, so
but
you're saying
also
that
at a high level.
You're saying that you don't have to use a uniform appearance for everybody. You have to, like, you have look at the persona, look at the person, and twist accordingly.
Yes, and twist accordingly, just to make sure that your value that you are going to bring to them is received the way you want it to be received.
That's fair.
Right. So, but the general thing is you always have to appear well. You always have to be clean. You always have to be put together. You always have to be confident. You always have to have a good information base. You also be able to tackle, because a discerning buyer would ask you the wildest of questions.
They also do, especially people who do their research.
They would ask you the wildest of questions, and you have to be able to make a good point that will still make your development, which in Ghanaian settings right now is less and less becoming a one-of-one kind of thing, to be able to have your development still stand out and be a purchasing option. So you really do have to put yourself together to make sure that also comes to.
That's good.
And also just transparency. You have to just be transparent.
Yeah, that's good.
No hiding things, or
it will come back to bite you.
It will come back to bite you. It will come back to bite you. You cannot cheat the system, really and truly. And especially if you want to scale, you want every purchase from you to be somebody that can refer another purchase to you. So you always have to.
Every buyer is a potential,
Yes, it's a potential marketing tool.
Exactly.
So you always have to make sure that everything is transparent. You treat people with the utmost respect, treating people with integrity, and that's in its own. So I would say for any young person that it's not a quick thing. It's a slow process. It's something that does not happen overnight. Your portfolio of clients builds over time, and these are things that happen because you went through the process, which, like I said, is never a small purchase, which is always usually a long process. You went through them with each long process with a certain level of professionalism that will lead you to the next person. So it's a slow mill that grinds over time, and it gets easier and easier over a long time. But then it's not a quick thing. It's not a quick exit.
All right, bro. Thank you very much, bro.
Always, bro.
Nice.
Amazing.